My name's Nick. I've been asked by CallFluent to show what they did to help me get up and running the other day. What I was doing was using GoHighLevel to make outbound phone calls. And that way you can click on a contact or add multiple contacts and get the calls run from GoHighLevel automatically. Let me just show you how we did that. So here we are on GoHighLevel and sharing my screen. I'll just show you what we did. So we created an automation. I've called this one Reception Pro Voice Outbound Call. You can actually rename these any name you like at the top as well. But when you go in, you start from scratch, create an automation by going into workflows. The first step is to trigger the call. You can either add your contacts in bulk using the contacts window and add them to the automation, or you can create what's called a tag. And when you give the contacts you want to make outbound calls to this particular tag, and this one we've called the outbound call, when it detects this tag has been added, it will begin the phone call. So we created some other things in this. I won't go into them all just now, but essentially it will detect if the contact has DNC, do not call enabled. It will do a check for that. If not, it will then start the outbound call. So this is the API that you will find in CallFluent under the Automations tab. Firstly, make sure you select when you create a new webhook that it is a custom webhook, and essentially you would just paste in the URL from CallFluent. Make sure it's set to post as well to initiate the call. There's nothing under the authorization tab required. It picks up the workspace area. That is how the security is applied. Just going to create one from scratch. So it's going to rename this as test caller. I'm just going to check settings. This should be ticked automatically to allow re-entry, so it means you can call the same contact more than one time. So just go back into the builder screen to see the main workflow. We'll click on add trigger. Every workflow needs to have a trigger added, or you can force it to start manually by going into contacts tab. But in this case, we'll add the tag and give the tag a name. I'm just going to call this test call. If there's no tag already for that, so I can click add new tag and save trigger. So when that tag is added to your contact in GoHighLevel, it will trigger this automation to make the call. So now we'll just do the next part, which is going to be a custom webhook. So this is one with the little crown symbol beside it. That tells you that that is going to cost you essentially 1 pence every time it is used. So the next time we can go into more detail about how to reduce this cost, perhaps by using make.com to send automation, but essentially it is the same script that we'll be running to do that. So it's fine, it really just depends on the volume of calls that you'll be making. So I'm going to do it this way, and I'll click. And the first thing you see is the type of event and the post method that has to be set to that. And I will click into here shortly and just put in the URL that needs to be used to trigger the webhook. So this is us logged into the CallFluent portal. Just navigate to the API and forms page. And for security, obviously, we've covered up the API endpoint key, but this is where you would get that. You click on the copy icon. Then you go back into your GoHighLevel workflow automation. Custom webhook is what you need to put this in as. And the method will be post because you're making an outbound request to CallFluent. You then paste in the CallFluent API in here, and I'll show you how to get that together on. And the content type should be set to JSQN. We don't need anything else added into headers, etc. That catches a lot of people out. What I actually need to do in this case to communicate with the CallFluent API is have this in the body of the request. So this is quite a basic one. Obviously, as they add more features, we can add extra things into here as well. But at the moment, all we're doing is going to put in the name, the phone number, and the email of the contact to initiate the call. I'm just going to do a test on that, and I'll quickly show you a few other things. I'm just going to test it with my own contact name and send test request. It's got a status of 200, successful, and the phone has begun to ring here. So let's quickly answer it.
Hi, this is James.
So the outbound call is working. So what we're going to now do is save action. So I'll just cover again so you can take a few notes if you need to about what we did to get that working in the raw body field here. So the first field in this example is the name field. So what we do, we start typing in contact name, and GoHighLevel will kindly produce some suggestions, and just scroll down and we select contact first name. It's the exact same case with the second field. It's phone _ number in inverted commas. It must be like that for the CallFluent API to work. And the contact field that we need to use is contact.phone _ raw, because this will automatically add in the international dialing code, which is a requirement as well. So the email field, again, pretty basic. Just type in the word contact and the email field will appear. So the other thing to do is make sure you haven't left any syntax below the inverted brackets. So it should have the name field, make sure there's brackets here, double brackets and inverted commas, ending that line with a comma and the next line the same. Third line here, you don't have a comma in there. If you have one in there, as I'll show you, basically it won't work. It will highlight it as an error because it's the wrong syntax. It's not what is being expected. So just click save, and then we can click save again. The other thing to check is under settings. This should be set automatically now. They've changed it, so allow re-entry so you can phone people more than once. Just go back to the builder tab. Again, under execution logs, if there is any problems, you will see them here. You would click on the view details tab. Obviously, I can't show you all the details in here, but yeah, just for security. So scroll down. We've also added some extra tags in here. So after the call is made, it will say booking attempt number 1. That'll be added to the contact field. We've also added a wait time delay, about 20 seconds per call there, wait time. Under SMS, yeah, we've got an SMS text from GoHighLevel with the booking link going out. So I can show you that in more detail next time. So when the call is triggered, it will send out an SMS text with the booking link. It will also send out an email with the booking link. Then it will wait again for roughly about 20 to 30 seconds. It will then increment the calls. And again, this is things you don't strictly require, but I can show you if somebody's interested in this. Obviously at the end here, we can put remove from workflow. So we can add in extra things, like in this case, it's got DNC enabled, but really just here to make sure you can do outbound calls from within GoHighLevel. That means you can add contacts in bulk and make automated calls